Well, good morning and welcome to the third recipe in our month of fish recipes for January. And today we're going to make something I've never done before, but always wanted to do. It has a very unusual name, an unusual look, and a fascinating history. So about 500 years ago, in the Cornish village of Mousel, there was a man called Tom Bocock. And he was a fisherman, and it was winter in the village and nobody had enough to eat, and the weather was terrible and nobody could get out in their boats to catch anything except the intrepid Tom Bocock. He went out in his boat in the winter weather, and came back with a catch of fish which was enough to feed the village and save them from starvation. And the story has been put down in poems, in stories, in song, indeed even in a wonderful children's book by Antonia Barber called The Mousel Cat. And what we're going to make today is the dish which is made every 23rd of December in Mousel to commemorate the event, and it's called Stargazey pie. So, what do we need for Stargazey pie? Well, not surprisingly, we need some fish. According to the legend, it should be 7 different types of fish, because that was what was in Tom's net that night when he came in with his catch. But really, any smallish fish will do. I'm using some fairly large Spanish sardines here, but you can use small sardines, baby mackerel, gurnard, anything which is of a reasonable size. So that's our main ingredient. Beyond that, I'm going to use an onion, potato, I've got a fennel bulb and some leek, but you could put in other root vegetables, parsnip, turnip, carrot, what you had available. Some traditional cider, some cream, some egg, butter and flour, a little bit of bacon, a fish stock which I'm going to make up, some parsley, and then I've got a little bit of saffron. That's not obligatory, it's not cheap, but if you can get a little bit of saffron to add a sprinkling of that to the pan, and then for the top, for the pie top, we're going to have some pastry, and today I'm going to use some boiled pastry rather than make it myself. So that's our ingredients. I'll start chopping. Okay, so I've been busy chopping. I've chopped my potato and fennel and leek and onion and bacon. So what I'm going to do is add most of my butter to the saute pan and my vegetables, and I'm going to head to the kitchen shortly, and I'm going to fry them off in the butter for about 10 minutes, and I'm also going to take a couple of my eggs and I'm going to hard boil them so that they're ready to add to the mixture later on. The other egg I'm going to leave uncooked for later on. So the fish, and this is where it might get a bit complicated, because ideally what you want is your fish to be cleaned and filleted but still leaving the heads on. And if you ask a fishmonger to do that, he'll give you a very odd look, unless of course he's a fishmonger in Mousel, in which case you'll be completely used to it. So I got my sardines whole, I've cleaned them out and I've filleted them. I'm not going to show you how to do that. The other shortcut, and I've seen this actually on I think a Rick Stein recipe, was you actually do cut their heads off and get them completely filleted by your fishmonger, but then ask your fishmonger to have the heads back. They'll still look at you in a funny way, but not quite so strangely, and then you use the heads for a decoration, but that's slightly cheating. So what we've got here is fish which has been cleaned, filleted, but their heads left on, and really that's our preparation. So we're going to head to the kitchen shortly, fry off our vegetables, hard boil our eggs. We'll have a quick check of the equipment and I'll see you in the kitchen. So today we need a chopping board or pastry board, a knife, a wooden spoon, a saucepan or saute pan, a rolling pin, and a pie dish. Okay, so I've been frying off my potatoes and leeks and fennel and bacon for about 10 minutes in the butter so that they're softening a little. And now I'm going to add some of my flour, a good tablespoonful, and just give that a mix around so it effectively creates a roux in the pan among the vegetables. And then I'm going to add my fish stock with a little to start with and stir it in. And then most importantly, for a coolish recipe, I'm going to add some cider. And then stir that around. Let it thicken up a little. Now we add our hard-boiled eggs, which I've chopped up, and our parsley, which I've also chopped up. And again, stir them round. If you're wondering about the saffron, I actually added that to the fish stock so that the flavour of the saffron would start to come out in the stock as soon as possible. And then the last touch is a little bit of cream, and then we'll just leave that to thicken for 5 minutes or so, and then that'll be ready as our sauce to pour over our fish and finish our pie. Our ingredients today are around 600 grams of fresh sardines, cleaned and filleted but with their heads left on, around 50 grams of butter, half an onion chopped, half a leek sliced, 1 potato diced, 3 rashers of chopped bacon, 3 tablespoons of flour, around 200 millilitres of fish stock, 100 millilitres of cream, 100 millilitres of cider, 3 eggs, 2 hard-boiled and 1 beaten, 2 tablespoons of parsley chopped, a few strands or a pinch of saffron, a pack of pastry, and some salt and pepper. Okay, so now to assemble our pie. And the first thing I'm going to do is just put some batter into that dish around the sides, and also a little on the rim, around the rim as well. Now we're going to arrange our fish. They'll all fit in. They will, one way or the other. Now we're going to take our pie mixture. Just about all go in, I think. Step down a little. And then we take our pastry, which I've cut just slightly bigger in the pie dish. We're going to put that over like that. Position it so that fish heads all stick out and gaze at the stars. And then just to finish, our last egg, just to brush it over the pastry so that the pastry goes nice and brown. And now this is going to go into a medium oven for around about 45 minutes. See what it looks like when
I've
it comes
stood
out.
on Cape Cornwall in the sun's evening glow, on June Hill at Newlyn to watch the fishing fleets go, watch the sheep wheels at Geever,